sun work, I'm doing my videos a little bit out of sync, so I'm going to wait a little bit to see who chimes in. I said I was going to do 7, but I wanted to get in and make sure everything works. Sometimes these connections don't work. But I kind of want to talk about what's going on today. And I have something. Let's see, how far down do I got to go? We're going to talk about this. And I'm going to do my best not to say it. See if I can get away with not saying it. Let's see, do I have anybody? Not yet. Okay, do I have 2 people on? 3? Okay. Since you're here, I don't know if you saw what I posted, but today we're going to talk about, come on, don't reflect. There we go. I got to be careful that I don't get in trouble for this one. And pixelated, I can't help that, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can hear me. Well, there's 2 numbers on it. There's a 20, and then there's, right next to it, they also have a 30. And I've got to be careful that I don't say those 2 together. So that should tell you what we're going to talk about in part today. All right, I have to keep my glasses on so I can read the pictures. Okay, so at least you can hear me because I've got my microphone on. When I don't have my microphone on and I go back and forth like this, which I do sometimes, it cuts in and out. But they're pushing and they're pushing and they're pushing harder. And they want to make sure that they push some people over the edge. They did a little bit of that on January 6th. They didn't get all the people they wanted. They certainly didn't get the big T, but they were hoping for it, okay? They set it up. They got rid of the security so there'd be nobody to stop them. It was a complete setup. This illegal raid that they just had on Big T's house, looking for, of course, they had to come up with something big and bad and powerful. Nuclear information, like maybe he's got the launch codes. Anything that they can do to keep him from running. Now he's using, I think he's only using government security right now, but you know, that kind of stuff isn't going to come out. If he's not using his own, he's foolish. Because when the alphabet soup came in and raided, they made his people stay out of the room where they were looking. Not only has the raid like that never happened before, you don't lock people out while you do searches, because that way they don't know whether you planted it or found it. That's the evil part of this going on. And don't think that you can stand up to it. Imagine that you're fighting Satan physically. You won't last a half a second. Now, protect yourself, yeah, but don't look at offense at all. You don't have a chance because Satan's running this group. Satan's controlling the harlot. As long as he needs the harlot, he's going to keep her in there. Mystery Babylon, whatever you want to call her. She's there until the Antichrist is ready to come out. Now, she's going to ride on the back of the Antichrist, the beast. So they will be there together for a little while, but they won't be there after he decides to take over, because he will kill her off. I want to talk about this particular agenda. It doesn't go into effect for a little over 7 years. So we're in 2022. Go to next year and then add 7. I hope you're getting my meanings on all this, because I've got to think that this one thing that I say will probably trigger the filters more than anything. Okay, I'm going to read you the 17 goals that this organization has. And the goals themselves sound lofty. They're very socialistic, but they sound lofty until you know who set the goals. The UN set these goals. Pretty much every negative thing they have about any country in the world, it's either Israel or the United States. This is a completely anti-Christian, anti-Jewish organization. How do you think they're going to implement these goals? They sound lofty, but what they do with it is not lofty. Look at what they've implemented in our own country. The bill they're trying to pass, the spending they're trying to pass now, 40% carbon reduction. That will completely shut us down. I've got somebody pulling in. Don't these people know they don't stay open past 5 o'clock? Apparently they don't. Thank you for joining in. I see you there. We're talking about the current times, and I'm going to have to talk to these people when they get here and tell them how to check in. But in any case, here's goal number 1. End poverty in all of its form everywhere. You think these rich people are going to give up their money? Of course not. They're going to eliminate the middle class, and there's going to be rich people and poor sons. That's all that's going to be left. And everybody's going to be working for them. And you're going to be happy not to own anything. That's the way we're heading. It's how they implement it is the problem. And this is the devil implementing this. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Campsite 2, you can turn out here and go right. Yeah, and you pass campsite 1 or trailer park 1 first, and then you get to the other campsite 2.
Okay, perfect.
And you're in 212, I'm in 211.
Okay, thank you.
If you come in after hours, they put your paperwork up on a clipboard so you can pick it up. That way they don't have to stay here. They have good restrooms down there too, including washer and dryers. Okay, goal number 2. Their plan is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. That's not what they're doing here, but that's the goal. But they've got to get us to a position where we can buy into that. And like I said, it's not very far away. It's kind of coincidental that 2030 and 2029 are right next to each other. And we know what's coming in 2029. Okay, goal number 3, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Again, they sound very lofty. It's how they implement it is what we got to be concerned about. Goal number 4, ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Again, everything sounds utopian. Okay, goal number 5, I think, is the only red flag that they're willing to stick out. Ensure gender equality and empower all women and girls. Why not empower everybody? No, they're going to empower women and girls, and they're going to make everybody accept whatever gender they happen to want to feel like that day. We're seeing it implemented here. So that's the only red flag that I see in their goals that they have listed. Number 6, ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Yeah, you see how well they're managing the water in Lake Mead? They made that happen. That has never happened like that before. They made it happen. And there are other places that are having other drought areas in the Midwest. If anybody has any questions, I got to come over here and see. I didn't miss, yeah, I missed all these. Okay, hi, Lynn. Yeah, Florida's going to be a big problem for the new group. Hopefully the picture will clean up over time. It uploads in the background. The initial video that uploads is not very clear, but it should clean up. It may be better to watch this tomorrow. If you can hear me, just go ahead and leave your questions down here. Thank you, Lynn, Richard. Yeah, they're following a definite script. Yeah, I know. We don't have to worry about it, but the other people do. Make sure there's I add. Okay, number 7, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. The best form of energy would be nuclear, and they won't let that come out. We got to do solar power, which produces 1/2 of 1% of what we need. And wind farms, half of them are broken. Yeah, they produce power, but those big props have to go into landfills. And it takes tons and tons of earth to be moved to get the lithium that we need for the batteries. They don't talk about that. Plus they're assembled for the most part in China, and we're about to lose that as a viable excess. Okay, number 8, promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full of productive employment and decent work for all. Yeah, we're all going to have decent work. We're all going to work for these rich guys. Number 9, build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. You know, good for you. You got to be able to see what's happening. Well, the only people that trust the government are the people that are fed the government Kool-Aid. They have a bad track record. We know what it is. Okay, and reduce inequality within and among countries. So every third world country know that we will be brought down to their level. So that way we're all equal. It would be better if they were brought to our level, but then they wouldn't have the control. Number 11, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. They've been trying to do that for years, and it has not worked because their method doesn't work. Every major prime city has gun control, and yet they have the highest killing rates. These are statistics. You can go look them up. You don't have to accept any of this that I say. Google it. Now, I will say that when I was Googling this document, I first started looking for trouble with it, and every link that I clicked on didn't work. No coincidence. Okay, number 12, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Well, they want things to run smoothly. It's any business wants that. It's who's in charge. Goal number 13. This is the other dangerous one. Take urgent action to combat change and its impacts. You don't have climate change, ever had. It's a control. That's all it is. Just like the big C was a control. Hello, Ukrainian. Let's see, where was I? 14. Conserve and sustainability of seas and marine resources for sustainable development. Well, we know how that's going to come out. Most people don't realize that more oil leaks out of the bottom of the ocean than is leaked in every one of the tankers that spilled. In the history of tankers, more oil per year leaks out of the bottom of the ocean. There's oil fields underneath the ocean. That's why there's derricks out in the water. Yeah, I wish I could do something about it immediately, but my connection here doesn't allow it to upload high quality video. It should slowly upload it for the time being. So if you listen in, be sure to go ahead and put it in. And thank you for watching from Canada. Okay, let's see. Ocean, okay, 15. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. Sustainability, manage forests, combat desert, how do you say this? Desertification. Not a word that I would use, but they don't want promoting deserts, I guess. Strengthen the means, number 17, strengthen the means of implementation and revitalization of global partnerships for sustainable development. So all the countries have to get together and comply with this. Canada is the other Hollywood. Georgia's the Hollywood. It's not just the southern Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't amount to anything anymore. Filming is done here in Georgia than in the United States. When we go back and forth, Canada, and of course, who's producing the most? It's all variable because whatever shows are popular and what aren't. I'd like to go up there, but it's all the way across the continent.
We took a ranger because I was one.
Okay, so the bottom line here is that some of their agenda, when you get into the details, is a reduction in population, which is one of the reasons I don't want you to be standing up to these thugs forcibly. You've seen what the brown shirts will do. They just raided an important house. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. In fact, if you stand up to them, they will take great pleasure in shooting you because that's what they want. Intimidation and reduction of population can go together. Let's see what we got. Well, I mean, they're all lofty goals, Richard. I mean, we'd all love to see all these things, but the only proper way to do that is to have a benevolent dictator, not a group, a benevolent dictator, and I can only think of one person that would fit that quality. And we're going to get them for 1,000 years. But you're going to see that after the first generation, they're going to deteriorate just as bad. Satan speeds things up a little bit, but they're going to deteriorate just as bad under human control. Even with Jesus giving us a firm hand on what's going on, people are going to still rebel. We definitely have a sin nature. Next month will be a time for it. I'm not predicting time. I personally don't think that they're unfortunately a pawn of Russia right now. They really don't want all of Ukraine, fortunately. So they need to almost just Mediterranean. But they're going to do whatever they have to. I'm worried about your nuclear reactor there. Doesn't matter who blew it up. There was a war going on around it caused by Russia. So Russia's ultimately responsible. If they bombed it directly, they're responsible. If they caused shells to be lobbed at them, they were standing against Russia. Russia is, because Russia doesn't have, because the leaders have Christ in them, they're going to get hooked. We're told that they're going to be hooked and pulled down into Israel to attack them for their riches. And that's coming up shortly. Is that going to be the, hopefully we don't have to go that far. Hopefully everybody that I know will be alive when he gets here. But people are dying every day. I don't remember how many thousands die on this population of 8 billion. But when we get into the wrath of the seals, a quarter of the population in one fell swoop is going to come through, and then later on another third, and then we're going to have our wars in there. We know that Israel, come back and watch it tomorrow, because it'll post tomorrow, and hopefully it'll clean up overnight. I'm dealing with this particular video channel, and sometimes they don't help me. In fact, they do as much as they can to not help. That's why I'm trying to slowly get familiar with how to work on Telegram. I don't like it. This is the best video show out there, and they know it. But Telegram is, and I'm hoping that they're going to get enough resources together to up the video quality and the video size. It's too low right now, and I can't put one of my videos up there. And I don't have time to sit down and edit and chop them all up, because I'm doing all this on my own. So I'm going to post a picture. That's about as best I can do right now. I'm also trying to roll. I'm old. Yes, I grew up, but if I spend all my time doing that, I might be able to do really more important. I'm watching preppers out there now. I'm watching a number of our flash. So I'm not talking about those that are not at the bottom. Silos dug in deep. It won't take very much for them to take those out. We're busting bombs that could take them out. And again, they want to reduce the population. And the more spectacular they do it, the more people are going to step into line. Look at Hitler starting in 1942. He came in with a really good sounding plan. They were into Russia, and he came in with a good sounding plan. He made the cover of Life magazine 3 times, long before anybody knew what he was doing in the background. He could speak. He could speak very well. The Antichrist is going to speak well too. But all this is coming down. One, God says it's going to happen. You don't want to go against God. You also don't want to go against Satan or the Antichrist or the harlot. You need to get out of here when we get our rapture coming up. Whatever size is, there's those that the majority think that there's 7 years of trib. I'm believing now into the first already happened during Jesus' time, and we got the second half coming. That's what I'm currently believing. Check out Brenda Weltner. And the timelines still match up. It's just that there's so many good pastors learn and ingrained in their brains, and they just punch. It doesn't matter. The gospel is more important than anything else we can do. So if you got that, we differ on prophecy. And if you come out and say Satan's going to take over the world tomorrow and we're going to get rested tomorrow, well, the only way to prove you right or wrong is to get to tomorrow. And then if you're wrong, you are not a prophet. prophets never make a mistake. They get a message. Now, what the message is may not be understood by the person giving it or by those around them. Or even 2,000 years later, we're struggling with some prophecy. Okay, I've reached my limit on this, so I'm going to go ahead and let it post. I hope that it will clean it up by tomorrow. If not, I may have to stop doing live unless I've got Wi-Fi here, so I don't understand what the problem is. But they may be blocking it, so everybody stay safe. Don't get egged on to challenging these people. Just let them believe what they want. Give them some of the gospel, but leave off the rest of it until you get them hooked. There's no point in telling them anything else unless they're a Christian, because they're not going to accept it. The opposite. The Great Reset is in process, and it can't be stopped. Even if we get big T in there, you can't get it too ingrained. If you can't even soup up there in Washington, you can't. Congress is corrupted. The administration is, executive branch is corrupted. I'm trying to find any names. Parts of our judges are corrupted throughout the country, including our Supreme Court. We're going to fix those that are left that don't agree with them. It won't take long, especially if they can control this next election. And things that are going nice now, they're going to turn the burner. Now when you were paying 6, you're going to go 10. They don't care about you at all. It's their power, the power of the devil, who's got his mind all twisted, and you can't reason with him. Okay. Keep praying for people. Keep spreading the word. The gospel word. And don't talk to anybody about anything else until you get that. We need people out of here when our rapture comes. The rapture is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. The Greek word is harpazo. There's really not a whole lot. There's minimal information on the rapture in the Bible. The vast majority, 90% or more of Jesus coming back and getting people has to do with the second coming. That's king. He's not talking about the rapture. It's his second coming. One we brought up, the sheep and the goats. It's still your Lord. It is not Christ's Lord. We're in our Christian state right now, but that's about to end. And then it will go back to fulfilling the Jewish prophecies. So I actually think we're going to get out of here before trumpets, or at least we will be tagged before trumpets. If we're the male child and Israel is the mother and the travail, that's war. I think that's going to trigger it. But we're going to be tagged 7 days before the rapture. We have to be, because that's a male, a Jewish male has to be born, keep him for 7 days, then he's circumcised and given a name. So we got to have that in our timing. Thank you all for joining in. If the video is not very good, I apologize for that. I'm struggling with the channel. It uploads a poor quality video and then it goes ahead and brings in a better quality. Let's see. I got to see who I'm seeing here. Those of you that have left, I thank you for being here. Good night. Yes, keep planting seeds. That's our job. Spread the word, plant seeds, and if the seeds don't grow while we're here, they're grow afterwards. Because it's good, bad. For figure out, they're going to turn to Jesus. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let this get uploaded and see if it will clean up after time. It looks good on my end. It's just when it goes uploading it, they have a lower quality video that gets uploaded initially. It's the same thing when I post a video. The minute I post it, I put it up the night before. If I put it up in the morning, I do my morning videos at 6. If I put it up at 6, it will look as bad as this does initially. It slowly refreshes, keeps downloading better qualities until it gets to where it needs to be. So if you can't watch this, check it out in the morning. I did attach live to the title so that people know that it was live last night or tonight. All right. God bless. We'll see you in the clouds. I'm guessing it's next month. Would be my guess. If it's not, we'll turn on, but we're God bless again. And it's